Welcome, 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 y'all, to So You Mean to Tell Me Season 2, Episode 11, bonus episode. This is a very special episode, y'all, because I'm introducing my new segment, Wine Down. So basically, we're going to sip some wine. I got my Stella Rose. I don't know if y'all can see it. We're going to sip some wine. Got my new cup, got my zodiac sign on it. If you're a Cancer, leave it below in the comments, the best zodiac sign there is. But we're basically just going to sip some wine while we sipping some tea, and we just going to talk. Something I really have been wanting to come on here and talk to you guys about, my graduate school journey in general. I don't know if you guys ever had a professor that just makes you want to pull your hair out, but my professor, I don't know, like right now we have a final project to do, and for the project we had to text her our like who we were gonna do our project on. And we did that like last month. So I texted her last month and tell her who I had my project on. And then yesterday she texted me back and was like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, it's just always that disconnect. It's like the teachers are never on the same page. And I've been thinking about like my life lately and like what I want to do. Right now, like I serve, and that has been like my job that I've been doing since I've been in undergraduate, and now I'm in graduate school. I've been serving restaurants, hotels, whatever. And honestly, like it's a good job. I feel like it's building my communication skills. I feel like it's making me feel more at ease talking to people. I feel like it's really improved me and my personal development as a whole. But I feel like I really am ready to level up my life in a career aspect. I don't know if there's anybody else out there who feels like that, but I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's time. I feel like I'm getting too old. And it's really interesting I'm saying that because as I was planning out my topics for the month and segments and things like that, something that came to mind was you're never too old. Like people really try to say, okay, you're 21, you're 22, you're 23, you're coming up on 25 years old, you have all these things that you need to be doing. But in reality, as a 21-year-old, I've only been an adult for 3 years. So you really put those things into perspective. You are a young adult. You still are a child adult. If you think about that, you don't expect a 3-month-old to know everything, or you don't expect a 3-year-old to know everything. So why are you expecting a 3-year-old adult to have everything figured out? That's one thing I've never realized. We put so much pressure on 21-year-olds, but 21-year-olds are literally adulting. I'm adulting. So I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself to figure out what am I going to do as far as my future career, and what am I going to do as far as my next job. Am I taking too long? Am I getting too old for this? But anybody else feeling like that, I just want you to take a step back and really just know that you can relax, and really just know that there really is no rush on when you get your next step. And I've been putting that pressure on me, and that has been making my anxiety go all crazy because one of the big symptoms of anxiety is fear of the future. And I think about my future 24/7 nonstop. Okay, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Like I think I need to do everything in the world for my future, but as good as that is, being a workaholic isn't good because it does cause burnout, and it will make your journey longer than it has to be. So instead of trying to make it, a sprint or a race, just make it a marathon. Do what you have to do at your own speed, at your own pace, and you'll get there. So adulting in your 20s is big, but we are going to get there. And while we're talking about that, I really just want to talk about emotions. A lot of the time, people have this misconception that there are negative emotions. I want to get that out of you guys' heads. I read a book one time, and I'll try to plug the book into the description because I can't remember what it's called right now. But it was a book, and it was about positive emotions and negative emotions. And basically, what the whole synopsis of the book was to inform us, the readers, that there is no such thing as positive and negative emotions. Emotions are just emotions. Whether they're unwanted or undesired emotions, they're still necessary emotions. Anger, sadness, these emotions, anxiety, these emotions aren't emotions that we particularly want to see or have, but they are emotions that we will have and that we will feel. So, how do you navigate through that? I feel the best way is to stop trying to suppress and ignore these emotions. If you want to learn how to deal with your anger, if you want to learn how to deal with your sadness and your anxiety, you have to learn how to navigate through them. You have to know that, yes, I'm going to feel these emotions, but how do I work through it? For me personally, I know, like, in the beginning, I had a really, 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 really bad issue with managing my anger. The first thing you wanted to do was just get mad or yell or just or whatever. But if that's your problem, what you need to do is learn how to take that step back. Practice breathing, practice peace, practice taking a step back and responding in your head before you respond out loud. Because once you say that, you can't take it back. So I've learned to just be so much more mindful, so much more intentional, so careful with what I say because I don't want to be misinterpreted. I want to be taken as clearly as possible. I know what I mean, so I want to mean what I say. And in order to say what you mean and mean what you say, you have to take breaks. You have to take pauses because it's easy to just throw something out, just say something. And once you throw that out, you can't always take that back. People aren't always understanding. But while we're on that, I do want to say, as much grace as you want people to show you, is as much grace as you need to show them. It is very easy to say, oh, okay, well, I made a mistake and nobody wants to. Okay, but have you done that for them? That same grace you want is that same grace you need to show. That same understanding you want is that same understanding you have to show. In order for us to get better as generations and get better as a society, one person can't change. One person can't change. You can't expect all the change to come from one person. You can't expect all the change to come from them. You keep wanting to tell everybody else how to change. You keep wanting to tell everybody else how to grow, but you have to do that as well. Make sure you're practicing what you preach. I have no problem with people giving advice, as I'm someone who does that, but I like to make sure you practice what you advise. Make sure you let people know that what you advise isn't set in stone. It's just help. It's just a suggestion, but it's not what it has to be. And as long as people keep that in mind, as long as you stay being mindful, you stay being intentional, I do believe that you have the power to succeed and do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's my wind down, y'all. And just before I go to bed, I like to read, I like to pray, and I like to journal. So there are times that you need to take time to just talk to yourself by yourself. Sometimes you don't need a whole bunch of external energies. Take your own energy. You don't need all these other things coming in and messing up your energy, and not even saying it's messing up your energy in a negative way, but it's still swaying you. You want to keep your own energy for your own self so you can level up. You don't need everybody else's opinions and everybody else just changing how you think. Keep your head on straight and try to level up for yourself first before you start adding in a whole bunch of extra bodies. So I'm going to journal. I'm going to continue to just progress for you all. This was a very short, brief introduction to the wind down. The next one, I will definitely have a guest on here, and we're gonna sit here, we're gonna drink our wine, and we're gonna talk about all the tea in the world and the media. The most recent episode I dropped was on sports media and entertainment. So my boyfriend and I, we came on here and we vlogged 2K for y'all. Very, very fun. Very, very exciting. A very fun episode to record. It was my first time streaming, y'all. So if you haven't tuned in, make sure you go tune into the latest episode, Mental Health in Sports Entertainment, where we talk about WWE superstars, we talk about NBA players, we talk about college players, everything like that. I want you all to know that mental health shows up everywhere. So if you're on here, you're like, well, this is a mental health page. Why is she talking about sports? Because there's mental health in sports. Why is she talking about work? Because there's mental health in work. There's mental health literally in everything that we do. Our mental health matters literally in everything that we do. And I want to be the one to advocate for that. I want to be the one to spread awareness for that. And if I have to share my own testimonials, if I have to have people come on here and share theirs, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to relate it to the real world, whether it's sports, work, media, whatever it is. We're going to wind down and we're going to talk about it. So thank y'all so much for tuning into this bonus episode of So You Mean to Tell Me. Y'all let me know how you like the new segment, wind down. And it was nice talking to y'all. Bye.